And so kind of what you see here is like, yeah, I could probably, there's a whole lot of features in Google TV which are specific to TV, which I'm not showing today. I'm showing the Flash specific stuff. But you can easily imagine that these experiences would be available on all the devices that Flash runs on.
Will we be able to tie into the specific Google TV features? Will there be integration, or is it going to be largely Flash Player in the browser?
So there's future stuff that'll be coming that, we'll discuss that with you guys when we are ready to discuss it. Yeah, no, that's fine. Questions? Raised eyebrows, smiling faces? None of the above? Oh, in the back.
So you mentioned some TV-specific APIs. Are those something that developers have access to now, or is that coming in the future?
Those will be available at the same time that Google TV is available, which is available on the Google website. So, yeah, they'll be coming in that timeline.
And then the APIs that you mentioned that were video specific, is that invoked by the developer, or is that something that that goes on under the hood?
Developers have the option to use it if they want to, because there's certain capabilities, and the APIs are still being finalized, but there's certain APIs which will kind of just try to help when it can, but if it realizes it might kind of muck something up, the developer will have to do something we won't try to, get in the way of the developer's intent. Other questions? Cool. Oh, yep, one more.
So I think this morning there was some discussion about sort of how Adobe is working with each of the different handset manufacturers to try to make sure that Flash is working properly and it's certified on them. Is there that kind of level of involvement in Adobe in terms of each of the different hardware partners for Google TV?
Yeah, so absolutely. So actually, I'll speak from the broadest perspective first, and then speak to Google TV. So Adobe's working. If you saw that slide back there, it's like there's just a bevy of names from guys who make silicon parts, who make the underlying CPUs to the hardware manufacturers. So we're working with all those guys in the ecosystem broadly across how we enable Flash in the ecosystem, as well as we're working really closely with Google and Logitech and Sony and the other guys who are part of the Google TV initiative. Yeah.
I have a question, not really Flash related, but your personal opinion. What do you think so far of this Intel CE 4100? Like, how would you compare the performance to some of the other top of the line Android devices or other home computing devices? I'm just curious, like, what's your opinion of it?
Yeah, so I mean, there's actually two angles in which you asked me to compare it. One was to Android devices,
smartphones and home,
and one was to the TV devices. And so I think if you look at, you guys heard this earlier today too, which is the TV hardware revolution is taking longer than the mobile one, but it's picking up the same rate, so to speak. So, if you really went back in time, if you went back to 09, when I think the Nexus 1 came out in 09 or so, right? Which is a gigahertz processor. Awesome. If you looked at TVs that shipped in 09, you'd have 400 megahertz parts shipping in those same kind of TVs. And so I can't actually comment to the specific actual technical specifications on the 4100. They're probably available on Intel's website. But to give you a sense, this is very high-end hardware. And so, it's good stuff. It's, the hardware's quite good. How does it compare to other, so that's how it compares to TV devices. How does it compare to Android devices? Well, that's kind of like the Nexus 1 comparison. So, and personal opinion, can't really say, our platform's agnostic to all this stuff and we make sure it runs well everywhere. So it's a nice little dance around that. But, it's a very solid piece of hardware that Intel makes. Anything else? All right. Well, thank you for your time. Any questions? I'll probably see most of you guys at dinner tonight, I hope. Cool. Thanks. Everyone. See, now the hard part for me is disassembling all this stuff. Just like the mobile guys.
If you leave it there, I'm sure one of us will be more than happy. Tell you what, I'll volunteer.
Danielle is coming. She's going to be just a little bit late.